This ain't your daddy's football.
Not that way. Not that. One more.
Let's try it again.
This is not your daddy's football, man. Yeah.
All right, so what problem is there in spring football that you guys are solving?
Sure. So I wouldn't necessarily say there's a problem, because to us football is pure, right? We love it. You've seen it's been repopulated, rehashed out several times, put out there. Again, the sport is there. It's exciting and energetic. We just want to bring a nice little twist to it with the experience. And Chad, if you would like to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, one thing that we realize is football is football. And people show up for it if you love it, but what's keeping you in the seats? And then what we've seen is there's been a lack of audience, I guess, participation in spring leagues as of late. And so what we're doing is we're bringing an immersive experience that literally is going to be the equivalency of going to a theme park, your Broadway show play, and just something that you just inevitably just don't want to leave too soon because you don't know what you're going to see next. And so that's the excitement. That's a different part that no other spring football league has done or has even tried to achieve, and that's what we're here to accomplish.
Exactly, because even if your team's being blown up by 30 points, let's be honest, it gets cold, you want to leave. Our goal is to reverse that effect. Like, it's okay, the team's there, but what's happening here, I really want to hang out and see what's going on.
Right. If they score 37, what is the next thing that's going to pop up? Like, it's like that's what we're waiting for.
You might be
Somebody please score a touchdown.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
what we want to see next.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The exact moment that the APFL had to happen, what was it?
I think that is actually one of the things that we realized through the process of all this. We actually, at the very beginning, and Frank will speak to this a little bit more later, but we realized that football, again, is football. It has its roots in the United States. But the APFL had to happen because of the way that the world is trending. They want experiences. They want something that they can have sticky memories with. And by that, right, you leave the game, but you want to go back because there was just something that pulled on you, that tugged on your heart, tugged on an emotion that was provoked. And so we're like, that's missing. Even while watching like other professional leagues, it's like, this is great. There's like 90,000 commercials. It's great for the owner of that brand, but what's in it for the fan? Right. And so we're just like, okay, we got to go big on this. We got to and just bring something new, something fresh.
Yeah, to Chad's point, right? Football's there. It's great. We love it. It's just like the world is changing, right? Social media has blown up drastically. The world has changed. People want experience, like Chad's saying, and we want to capitalize on that and really show what the game that we feel could evolve into.
Yeah, this is the new way of spring professional football.
One thing is, don't quote me on the exact numbers, but it's pretty damn close. 98.4% of collegiate athletes, right? I did some research. I'm proud of myself.
Give or take.
Yeah, right? Nah, it is a bump. No, but anyway, there's a very strong percentage of athletes who are professional level ready to play. However, there's just a lack of space. So in reality, what it really came down to, the true roots aside with tagging and the whole experience that we want to get into later, is just we want these kids who are able to continue their career. There's nothing wrong with being an accountant, marketer, whatever the case may be, but if you still have the physical capability to play the sport that you love, since I played since I was 6, why not go after it? Why should that door close any sooner, other than, God forbid, you get hurt? But if there's a chance, you should be gifted that chance. Now, granted, there's going to be limited spaces, but the goal is that it expands and we can start bringing more people in. And even outside of the players, right? You grow up, maybe someone loved the sport but never was able to play it. They want to be a coach, right? That opens up opportunities for coaches now. We just want the sport to grow, is ultimately what it comes down to.
So tell me, what does a full season look like?
Yeah, so what we're planning on doing right now is we're going to be launching our first season in the spring of 2027, end of fall through about the end of May. We're going to have our playoffs right there, right before June, have a little championship game. We have 4 teams right now, so it's about 5 home games per team. So any given Sunday, we're going to have two games going on at a time. And so it's going to be a 10-game season, regular season. Then we'll have a little playoff, like I said, and then a championship game. That's what we can expect at this moment.
So how are you guys different from the NFL, UFL, college football? What sets you guys apart?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So all respect to them, they do great in their respective fields. Just the biggest differentiator that we plan to bring out, like we were saying, is the heavy experience. Right, we can't stress it enough. That's the biggest thing for us. We want these families to really feel like they're a part of the game. Right, like myself, I'm a football fanatic. All of us are, safe to say. Oz might be football fanatic. Yeah, football. But the point is, there's a fanatic who loves the game, right? But then you have the significant other and the children who might like it, but maybe not to a certain degree, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The goal is to really capture them and capture their memories alongside with the sport that's occurring. So again, nothing but props to what was laid out for us. We just want to take that runway and take it further and expand it now.
Well, to me, it's number one, it's the fan engagement is huge. If that weren't there, this probably wouldn't work. The fan engagement is very extensive, using all kinds of technology. I'm sure we're going to incorporate some AI and to get people to constantly look at our stuff, even when they're not there. The second thing is the players. You know, how are you treating the players? I've interviewed 10 ex-players, like USFL guys, and my question to them was, why'd they go under? And they said it wasn't the salary, it was they treated us horribly. I said, what do you mean? So they literally, and these guys grabbed the concept immediately and said, yes. So we need to treat these guys with respect. So number one, they come out and they play 100%. Number two, they stick around, you know, for a while, because that's what fans want. You don't want to buy a jersey today and then next year the person's not there, you know, like they hop around. So I think the intent is noble. I think I've seen it in writing, so it's real, and that attracts me. And it's going to attract a lot of people in terms of investment, in terms of founders, and that's where my responsibility is. I'm already speaking to some people now, and everybody really wants to help the community. That's the big stretch on this. Now, how are we going to help the community? How are you going to handle charities? These are all the things that they're not necessarily business issues. They're more, this is a philosophy that we're talking about here. And, you know, I see it from the outside because I've been here not too long, and I can actually conceptualize exactly what they're talking about just from a business standpoint. And it's awesome. It's exciting. I mean, this is different when you say to USFL the difference, that's the difference. It's how you treat your people and how you treat the community. You know, the USFL just, you know, apparently didn't do very well with it, but, you know, and then I asked them, why'd they go under? And they told me. And so that really excited me. I think that's when my commitment came and I went, this is going to go.
And just so you're aware, a lot of research went in behind this as well. It's not just, you know, we've been fortunate, us three, to be a part of a league that previously, before starting our own. Mm-hmm. And we've reached out to a lot of the fans. We've had events, all around town, and people come in, you know, we'll talk to them about, you know, what's missing. So they'll talk to us about, you know, not having a team, for instance, a professional team in South Carolina, mm-hmm. right? And how much that would be excited. We talked to people from all over, from New York, different states. And they're like, yeah, I moved down here. I love the weather, but man, I don't have the sport. Right. Right. So we saw that. And again, we were able to, you know, gravitate to all the things they were saying and say, okay, well, great feedback. Let's take some of that and run with it because it's great, right? So the previous league we were with, you know, they postponed their season and they didn't really head off. So we said, why not just give it a go ourselves and see where it takes us? Yep. So yeah, the excitement was all there. So passionate fans were all around. So let's give it a go. All right.
And I'll say this too is another big thing that we just want to make known is that, like, with the UFL currently, you know, they've stated that they are kind of a developmental league for the NFL. And so we want no part of that. And I know that's crazy maybe to say, but we want our guys to be our guys. If they by chance get seen by the NFL or some other professional league and they get picked up for more money, cool. More power to you. We want that for you. We'll give you a high five. We'll throw, you know, whatever it is, and send them on their way because we want that. Our plan is to still develop players, but in no means are we attaching ourselves to anyone else. We're saying we are the APFL. We are where we want you to be. We want you to stay here forever for the longevity of your career, whether you're a football player or you're somebody working in the concession stands. We don't want you to go anywhere. You're our people, and so that's how we also see ourselves, just really differentiating ourselves from all these other leagues.
Yeah.
We're the APFL, and that's it.
And the biggest piece, I'll end it with this, truly, because you just brought it to my mind, truly, is, truly, it's the connection, right? We don't want to connect ourselves with that. But one thing we are doing is connecting ourselves, with the communities. So we've flown out, we've met with mayors, we've met with some of the people in the town. So let them know when we come, we want to help build up the economy. We don't want to just come in, put on football, leave, try and raise the prices on you. No, our goal is to have the players integrate with you. So when the season's done, get them some job placements here, right? Because guess what? It brings dollars to your community. So we really want to be about it different and really be one with the community. So when we come into town, great the APFL is here, not, it's okay they're here, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the unique rules for the APFL that you guys are super proud of.
Yeah. You know,
We
I
get
thi-
to play? No, that's
no, no.
That's I already broke
We
that
hung
rule.
that one up. We're done. Cleats are hung up in the closet. No, I think some of the biggest rule changes that we have and some of the things that we want is for the game to speed up. I think I mentioned earlier too that, you know, we don't want 900 commercial breaks. We don't want this thing to be dragged out for 4 hours. We want this thing to move along because we have other exciting things to cover. The experience. So with the game though, some of the rule changes that we've come to own is something that the XFL and some of the other people have tried, which I really found attractive and fun, which is like the no fair catch rule. So on a punt, for instance, they'll have a halo, but you got to run. And so we're going to make that happen. And if you kick, like on a kickoff, the NFL, for instance, they've changed their kickoff rule to make it a little bit more exciting and player safe. Well, for us, there's no fair catch on a kickoff. There's no touchback on a kickoff because if you kick it out of bounds, that team, the receiving team, then gets the ball at the 45 as a penalty.
Yeah.
So you're losing ground, and we all know football's a game of inches. And if you give up all that yardage, well, you might as well be shooting yourself in the foot, right? So we're like, hey, how about you kick it to the guy and try and stop him because you're football players. Like, that's what we want. And so big hits will happen. We do want player safety, like I said. So if they decide to start kicking rainbows, they still have to have a halo on the receiver that is catching the ball. So we still want player safety to be at the forefront of all of this, but we do want it to be exciting and fun. And then one other rule that we've taken from the NCAA and actually is bringing it over is the pass interference rule. So we hate that other leagues, you get a spot foul on it because quarterbacks will purposely just throw a rainbow up there in hopes that they draw a penalty. And because there's a soft league out there right now, we're not trying to be soft. We're just saying, hey, if it's a 15-yard penalty, move on. Let's make it happen. And that way, too, the fans aren't throwing, beer cans and things at everyone because we're throwing lobs into the end zone for a PI. And now a playoff game is essentially decided by one pass interference call.
Unless we get stone cold, then we can do beers together.
Yeah, well,
That's the only way.
if he wants to show up, we're all on that one.
Steve, if you're listening, come on.
I'm down here, just throw it down to me. That's good.
Let's go, baby. All day. But those are some of the rules right there. I mean, we're just trying to a little bit faster play clock. We just want the game to be a little bit speedier. But outside of that, we've adopted a lot of the NCAA rules along with some of the current NFL rules. And again, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel in any way. We want to do things, and we're also going to be open after each season to have fan feedback. So if they want to see something cool that maybe we haven't brought, guess what? You get to be a part of the action and actually decide, hey, maybe we need to implement a new rule or something fun. But right now, those are kind of the main ones that we're running with.
Gotcha. Any others? Any other big ones stick out?
One that we were tossing around for fun, and again, still tossing around, I spoke to you briefly about it, is one thing I hate being a football player or former football player is the fact that a game of such physicality can end in a tie, right? So I get it. You guys bust your butt. You fight to the end. But one thing we're tossing up, and shout out to NHL, something kind of fun, even soccer, maybe like a shootout via field goals. It's like, hey, your team went all out. The extra 20 minutes, whatever it may be, went all out. They're exhausted. Great. It sucks, but you're still going to get a winner one way or another. Call it what it is. Someone is getting.
And hey, those kickers need some more love. Yeah. Honestly, they don't get enough TV time. So you know what I mean.
Just line it up, shot for shot, man. I hit the 30-yard. You got to hit the 30-yard. Like old school kickoff. So just some fun stuff like that was still kicking around, but yeah, so much fun. We're excited about.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys are welcome. Welcome, man.
Yeah, welcome. There it is, guys. You heard it.
I thought for sure you were bringing a soccer ball out for that.
I thought about it.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. All right.
You have to kick a rubber chicken through the goalpost.
When I come to your first game, in the first 5 minutes, what am I going to see that's way different than anything I've experienced?
The thing that everyone needs to understand is the experience doesn't start once you're at your seat. It starts well before that. Okay. So as you pull into the parking lot, you're already transported. You're now a part of a storyline instead of just a part of a football game. So as you're coming in, we've already got stages set up, multiple interactive stations. We're going to have player-coach meet and greets already pre-game. For the fans can already high five, get autographs, those types of things. Meet the mascot. They're going to be going through, heck, even if we're at the game, we want to be there as well to be able to get some fist bumps and some high fives to kids and fans. That's what we love. We're going to have games, just little interactive things that bring you into each team's identity and story. So each team also has their own storyline. So like I said, when you think of a theme park or something like that, where you're walking into, like you say, for instance, Disneyland, and you're going into the Star Wars theme, you're literally transported onto some other planet in that movie. Well, guess what? You're going to see that same dang thing on our fields and our stadiums. So we're going to have build-outs, again, technology, different maybe virtual reality stations and different things like that, where it's very interactive and different. So we're going to have those. We're going to also then, as you get to finally that stadium, now everyone's funneled through the same exact entrance, not multiple entrances, it's the same one, because what we want them to see as they enter is now they truly are transported into that storyline. They're now a part of the action. From the moment they cross that and get their ticket stamped, they're in. And now we've got our paid actors and characters already greeting, already bringing them into the fold. And so the music, the imagery that we're going to create during this is part of it. So that's that first 5 minutes. You're like, well, I'm not in Kansas anymore. This definitely ain't your daddy's football. Like, this is what we're going for. And so that way, again, as that game keeps progressing and we get through halftime, you got that amazing halftime performance. We're not even letting you leave in the fourth quarter. No, because you're going to miss out. As that game concludes, the story still is going on, because as you then leave that stadium, there's also going to be a tunnel that you have to leave out of and join a nice celebratory parade on both sides of it. And if you miss that, you miss another moment to just experience something that you'll never forget.
So tell me about your fans. Is this like a full family kind of experience?
Absolutely. We welcome everyone. That's the goal, right? We want everyone to have a great time, have fun, come here passionate, rah-rah, chicken bye, you know. But no, all jokes aside, right? We want this to be for everybody. We don't want anyone to feel left out. The experience is going to be second to none for the fans, which I'll tag in Chad.
Yeah, so...
You didn't tag me.
Oh, I got you, bro.
There it is.
I left you like Tom Brady,
Yeah,
bro.
come on,
my bad. All right, no, but yeah, no, like Frank was just saying, what we don't want to do, again, is for parents to like go to the game and dread bringing their kid that they know is going to be tired on halftime and be like, let's go. I'd give two craps about football, right? But if we have something to capture them, to bring them in, to give them something else to focus on, whoever is the football fan in that family gets to sit there and enjoy their game while everyone else is enjoying the things happening around them. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone, and we definitely welcome entire families. I think we'll capture a wide audience with what we're trying to do.
Not physically capture, but you know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
It depends. Yeah. It depends. We've all been to school fairs and they have a jail. We might have, I don't know.
Well, I mean, also you got, I've had season tickets for the Giants, believe it or not, but you go to the first two games and the third and fourth, you're kind of like, whatever. This will bring them back. That's a big part of what this is. And even as you look at it from an investment standpoint or a merchandising standpoint or whatever, you want that to continue to happen, to get eyes constantly on that. So I think that's a really attractive thing for this type of, and I don't know any except for the NFL because it's, huge, but I don't know any spring team that's been able to do that. So that's exciting.
So what makes this an experience for the full family?
Yeah, I think one thing that we're kind of hanging our hat on, and I'm a big fan of Walt Disney. I like what he did and the concepts that he brought to the world, and for that level of entertainment. But and forgive me, guys, we can edit this if we want to. But I like to say what we're trying to bring in essence is a Disney World and Universal Studios experience that is clashed with our version of professional football.
Football.
It's football, man. So if you can imagine when you go to Disneyland, Disney World, right? There's the adult rides, and then there's Dumbo, right? You have a little bit of everything. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it's going to be because I want it to be a surprise, but there are going to be elements of a little something for everybody. But because we're going to have our characters, because we're going to have our dancers, our entertainers, I guarantee we're going to be capturing some eyes and some feels. My hope and our hope for this, and just like Tom was saying, is that this thing becomes viral. I want TikTok dances to be like sprung from this. I want there to be competition between our players and a fan who does it better. Like I want all of those experiences to happen, and that's what I mean. Like I think that can be, there is no age limit on that. You know, the stay-at-home Mount Pleasant moms would get on board with that one. So I think that that's, so I live near there, so I can say that. But I think that that's really what to expect without giving too much away. But we're gonna make sure that we touch on a little bit of everything.
Okay, so tell me more about the game experience. So once we get out of the car in the parking lot to all the way through post game, like what can we expect?
Yeah, and before I get started, I just wanted to say, the APFL, our belief is the game is for everyone. So I know we mentioned families a couple of times, but it's for everyone. We want everyone to be included. You know, we want to make this as interactive for everyone, right? So families are the center of what we want to do, but it's for everyone, right? So Chad, take it away.
Yeah, so, and for everyone coming to the stadium, and once they've parked their cars, while they're doing it, we want to already be greeting them in some way, some visual elements, musically, and them going, oh crap, what is happening down the row? We got to get over, no shoot, there's something happening there. All right, it's all over the place. Right? And like, so they're automatically being hit with an experience from the moment they park their cars to the second they start walking up. And as they're walking up, they're getting hit again with just, maybe it's a mascot or one of our actors that are out there like greeting people and having fun and interacting with them, bringing them into the storylines in which we are creating for each of our teams. So every experience is going to be different too. If you're in Lafayette, Louisiana, experiencing that team, you're not going to have that same experience in South Carolina. It's a different storyline. It's going to be crazy. So that's why we say, like, from start to finish, this thing is completely immersive. It's transporting you from what is your everyday into the APFL experience. So parking lot to the front gates, you're walking and you're getting funneled through there. Again, our players and coaches are already outside high-fiving you, welcoming you into our experience because we want to be forward-facing and fan-first. Then you enter this world that just consumes you in this effervescence of just excitement and holy crap, where are we? Are we going to expect a guy flying from the rafters? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I hear things, and I don't know if it's actually happening. But there's that. And then there's maybe a dance will break out over here, and it's brought to you by our own, again, partners that are creating that performance for that moment. Maybe it's interacting with the local band that we've decided to come in, and they're leading the charge for our parade heading into the stadium that day. The point is that you don't know what you're going to get until the day of, which is exciting. But from the moment that parking lot hits, the moment you hit your seat, you're already a part of that storyline. And then once you leave your seat and the last whistle has blown, you're out there again. We're marching you right back out the same way we brought you in, which is a full-blown party. We're making sure that your hair is blown back every second. So when you leave, you're in the car going, whoo! Yep. What the heck was that? And then you go, let's do it again, right? It's just like being on one of those rides in a theme park. You're glad when the drop is over because it was scary as hell and kind of crazy, but at the same time, you're like, I hope there's another one. Like, that's kind of what we're trying to create, and that's what we should expect from the APFL experience.
Yeah, it's taking those that fan away from just being a passive viewer into being like a part of the game, right? So the game, one of the lines we throw out a little bit is like, think of the game as a show and the fans are the stars, right? Yes. So we want to make it as interactive and fun for the entire, not just the players, but for entire.
I think that audience. Line deserved a mic drop.
That was really good.
You know what?
So give me some specific examples. Like what are the differences we're going to see that's going to blow us away?
Dude, absolutely. All right, so I'll give you guys like a little briefing here. So everyone here has seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? Yay or nay? Yay? I know you maybe not, but I definitely have. Anyway, there's Earth, Wind, Water, and Fire.
It's
right?
Captain Planet, I think.
That's a good one too. But no blue hair, all right? He's bald, all right? He's bald in this. You might be the Avatar.
Combined, right?
Yeah. So what it is let's just imagine, because again, we're starting with 4 teams. They each are the elements I just mentioned. So the goal is when you walk in, let's say if it's the underwater world, right? Just to put it out there. You're pretty much gonna hit with everything but a bucket of water. Who knows? Maybe you even get a bucket of water, right? Because again, it's almost like being at a 4D experience, but now you're living the experience is the biggest thing, right? Because again, who's to say when the game's going on? Let's say there's a massive touchdown, interception, whatever might have happened, right? Again, this is just thrown up there, but if you guys been to SeaWorld, maybe this works too. Maybe if your team's on the losing side, you get tossed a bucket of water on you. Again, just a very extreme example, right? We're not actually gonna do that, don't worry. Unless you sign a waiver, then sure, maybe. But point is, you guys are locked into the game. You're just not in the stands. I don't even know if you can see it. It's probably grass, but I see stands right there. You guys aren't in the stands just to be there. You're not there just to be another number. You're not there just to fill someone's pocket. We want you to really feel the experience and enjoy it. That's just one of the many, right? Again, we might even have mascots face off. Not even like in their traditional run. Just fun things that we want to engage, right? If maybe there's a bad penalty call, right? This mascot didn't agree with X mascot, right? Maybe there's some type of like standoff we create. You know what I mean? Because again, we want it engaging for the kids. And again, just to keep the sport pure. So we want to do everything outside of the sport that's occurring.
Yeah, and I'll give another example. So like we are going to have activation stations throughout the game and throughout the stadiums that we're in. But we don't, like to Oz's point, we don't want you to be a bystander in it. And some people don't like to leave their seats, and so that's okay. We're going to bring the action to you sometimes also. So if you're that person that doesn't like to get up and leave and be a part of that, we're going to be down the aisles, literally coming at you, Bennett, and saying, hey, how are you liking the game, bro? And then they just talk smack to maybe the other mascot, like he was saying, across the way, and all of a sudden, shoot, now I'm a part of this? Like, yes, you are. Get ready to be a little uncomfortable, but also to have a great time. Like, we want to make sure that no one leaves there not feeling like they've been touched in some way, not necessarily physically, but like emotionally, and sparking that like childlike moment again. So that's really some of the things that we want to hit.
So besides just the roar of the crowd, but walking in, we want it to be breathtaking, right? We want you to almost, like Chad said, you walk into a completely different atmosphere, something that takes your breath away, and it's just exciting and fun. And that's what we're
Mm-hmm. Yeah, biggest thing, right? Let's say little Timmy walks in. Little Timmy looks at Mom, holy smokes, did you see that dragon? I've never seen one before, it's just a whole world. It's just completely different. We want that light to be really driven out.
Awesome. Yeah, that first 60 seconds for me, I want them to automatically feel, one, accepted, but two, as if they had no choice but to be drawn into this story. In 60 seconds, again, I use the word transported a lot, but that's literally what you are. You're no longer in Kansas anymore. You are in this, and buckle up, buddy, because it's going to be a ride. Like that's the first 60 seconds that I want people to just feel and crave.
He likes the Wizard of Oz.
Apparently.
Me too, though.
My daughter just saw Wicked. I'm in it.
Locked in.
Yeah, I think that's really what I would like to see. I mean, every emotion. There's fear, sadness, excitement, joy, everything. You got to be able to present that like a Disney World type of environment.
So aside from game day, what other kind of events are you guys running with?
Part of the establishment of this company is to bring in people that can support the community, whether that's through investors, whether it's through founders, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. It's like a crowdfunding type environment. So we want to really bring those people and make those people feel special. A lot of things. I know we planned on a founders, like a party, founders party before, even before we launch, to get people involved and just show them and have these kind of discussions that we have. And I think once you start that draw, you do one in February, you do one in July, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And that's really the tool that we'd like to use to get that. That's one of the ways that we're drawing people in, and even charitable type stuff, that really just community-based type things.
So you're at a game last night. It was fun. It was all this magical things you saw. It made you want to come back to a game. But then what? What happens between then and the next game? That's where we, all of us here believe, APFL, like we want to bring that experience not just to the game, but into the community, right? So if there's, community events that we want to have, that's going to be probably a day prior for the game, or sometime during the week, partner with some of our, store partners and have different events throughout the community to kind of make sure the fans get a little bit of what they see at the game at all times, not just at the game, right? So, and that could possibly go after the season, right? So we just want to make sure that the fans stay engaged and, keep wanting to be a part of.
Yeah, like think of it like little like pop-up Broadway stage events. So if you've seen something at the game that was powerful and maybe it was like musical numbers or whatever, and it involves our cheerleaders and some of our players and coaches. So we may have a pop-up event that happens. We'll tell the community about it, say, hey, show up on Thursday, whatever, September 14th, and we're going to be there. You guys show up. It's going to be sick. And then they just show up and like, yeah, it's a party again. APFL's back. Let's go, baby. And then we're in it, and it's just a fun time for us to just, again, high five, shake hands, just be a part of the community, give them something that they've already been used to seeing, but also, like, again, just continuously transporting back to that fun, childlike atmosphere again. And that's what we, again, when we look at people like Disney and we look at Universal and the things that they do year round and have to recreate this thing all the time, and how do we give new experiences to these people, that's part of our challenge too. We don't want to be mundane. We don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. So one of our challenges that we've set for ourselves is, how do we make this fresh each time? And so that's the cool and fun part that I love, and that I'm really excited for us to tackle. And so being able to create these new fun experiences, who knows, we may wind up on a cruise ship doing something fun there, partnering with Carnival. Hell, I don't know. It could be that, and I think that time will tell, especially with some of the founders parties and things that we plan on doing. That's really is what's going to drive this thing beyond just football.
It's pretty strong community involvement. So, as we all have kids, we go to a lot of the events, the football games, the, chorus concerts, dance recitals, So we do go out in the community and see a lot of these events that take place, in just small sections, right? Maybe in the school auditorium, or, we one of the things that we would like to do as far as, for community engagement is to go ahead and see how we can bring those performances into what we do, not just in the game, but, outside the game. When we have these events that Chad mentioned earlier, how can we incorporate those things within the APFL to make sure that we involve in, all the creative arts in the community. So there's a lot of great performances, a lot of great kids out there that do a lot of great stuff. And how do we get that into the experience to make that a part of the show, right? So
And how we give back. And
So-
so that is also an awesome point. Love that. Yeah.
What is the plan for some events coming up over the next few months, kind of leading up to the season?
Yeah, so right now what we're looking at is, we're going to have the tryouts that are going to be coming here real soon in the next few months, but also just different community engagement opportunities. So like we talked about fan fests and different things, like calling it that's where it's like the game, but light. So just we're giving them just little tastes of what's coming. Just something to just get the brand out there to make sure that, if our performers need to tweak and fix anything, that's what that opportunity is for. Honestly, we want to make sure that the fans are engaging with us, and that it gives us that kind of leeway and opportunity to always advance and improve on our craft before our season opens up.
And one thing about the tryouts, to Chad's point, it's going to be a little unique. We're not going to get into it just yet, but it will be kind of your stereotypical tryout with a twist, though, which we're pretty excited about. And even outside of that, we have a very unique event that we're working on creating. Should I wait or keep going? Oh, okay, I'll take a step back. Ready? So we have a very unique event that we're creating that we plan to bring to the public here in the next few months. Testing the waters, making sure we get the legal documents done first and foremost. But yeah, so some really exciting stuff. I'll dive into that a little further once we get everything trademarked and official.
So what is the path for an investor for the league?
Well, there's different levels of investment. There's the big investment, which is, more angel investor type level, which we're going after, no doubt about that. And there's the founders level, which could kind of blends in with it. Founders really get different abilities to do different things that other people can't do. VIP stuff, better seating, even being a part of the entertainment side of it. There's always something like getting, tickets for the sidelines, and there's different things that promote people, that get people excited about that. But it's really, people buy because of emotion. We really need to raise that emotion up. Like I was talking before, that they need to have every emotion possible in order to grasp onto this thing. And that's where we need to focus on. And you do that well when you're in front of them. I'm going to be in front of a lot of people, that's my responsibility at this point, but with these guys, obviously. But, when you look at it from the business standpoint, you got to make sure when you're talking to another business person who has money that you know what the heck you're talking about. So we're really preparing well for that. And with that, it's going to come, by the way, we have a great time here, and this is what it's all about. Give them a little taste of what's going on with that. It's a fine line with some people, but those are the people we want to be around. So we're going to really, really kind of paint that picture, and then, get these founders at different levels to come in, which honestly, especially in this market, people are very excited about this. That's something they want to be able to help the community with. We got to show how we're helping the community as well, and how we take care of the fans, we take care of the players, and that type. And we have a blast, doing it. So, but it's you have to have fiduciary responsibility on top of that, and that's something that we pay attention to quite a bit.
So what are the milestones that you're looking to hit in 2026?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, this is going to be, quite a venture, right? So it's a lot of moving pieces. A lot of, Tom always said, a lot of tentacles, right? So there's a lot of things that has to come together to make this all work, right? So we're looking at doing quite a few activations or events coming up here in the next few months. So our next big milestone is going to be getting that Founders Club going, and just different ways that we can engage the public into helping us bring this to life, right? And then from there, we'll start having these activations to kind of bring them in and have them be a part of building this, right? We're 4 guys, right? This is huger than just the 4 of us, right? This is bigger, much bigger than 4 of us. So we want to be able to incorporate a lot of what we're doing with, the fans who are excited to get this to market, right? So we want to partner with them as well and have them help us move things along. So we want to have a quick activation that involves the fans and have them come in and just kind of learn about what we're about, be a part of it, be engaged, be, again, as up to date as possible in what's going on and how they can help, right? So outside of that, again, Chad mentioned the tryouts. So we'll have tryouts coming in. We have 4 different markets, as you're already aware. I think we mentioned markets earlier, right? Yep. So we're going to have different events in different markets, right? So we have GMs that we're looking to. A few of our markets have GMs already, but we have, our GMs that's going to come on board, help to build out that experience within those markets along those storylines. So there's one thing that, kind of a little secret of ours that I'll mention a little bit, but I won't go into too much details, but we have a trip coming up soon that's going to be with a partner that's going to be working with us to kind of build out the stories and how to make those as immersive as possible and interactive for our fans. So once we get to that stage, we'll see how we can then, kind of put it all together and see what other events we can bring alongside with doing that. Okay, so with that being said, I can hand it off
to me. More milestones?
Yeah.
No.
Don't mention
I
what
got
you said.
Yeah, no. He nailed it. I think that the some of the biggest milestones, or one of the biggest milestones, is this Founders Club and making sure that event goes off without a hitch. It's really the spark that's going to light the fire. So we have to make sure that one's a big one. And so getting that early engagement, that early buy-in is really important for us, so that those people can see the vision and then spread it, right? So there's that. But also, I would say the second biggest milestone, besides the tryouts and getting athletes excited about this and getting our GMs in the house, is this partnership that Oz is alluding to. So when we were traveling to Atlanta, and I'm going to go a step further, but I'm not going to say anymore. But we're going to go there, and no, this partner is going to be great. They've worked with Disney. They've worked with a lot of other massive companies and groups to bring entertainment and different aspects to life, including movies and other things. And so I know that at times, like, my visions seem so far out there, but I also lean back on, if you don't dream big, you'll never do big things. And so I always go for the highest mark. I never will just settle when someone says, isn't that a little bit too risky, a little too big? Shut up. No, I don't even know what he's talking about. We don't speak that same language. Yeah. And, and even these guys, they're like, wow, that's a lot sometimes, right? It's like, yeah, but that's why I'm here. Because we know where we can go. And if we dream that big and we get people to see that dream with us and to dream alongside us, it will happen. and we'll go off without a hitch. And I truly do believe that. I think we believe that. And this person, and these people that we're looking to partner with also believe that. And so we're excited about it. So that's what I would say, just to put the period on that one.